Hello, how are you? This is Mama Couts, and it's been a very long time since I've seen you. Not really sure if I have a reason for that. Haven't talked to you in a while, and the last time I was here, I lived in Idaho, and now I live in the beautiful state of Tennessee. We're in Middle Tennessee, about an hour south of Nashville. Had to follow the grandbaby, which has been amazing to see her and watch her grow up and not be 2,000 miles away. We've actually been able to get an acre of land here, and so that's been amazing too. As if you followed me for any length of time, you know we lived in North Idaho and we lived on 5 acres for about 15 years. And then we moved into a development in town, and that was nice. I loved my house there, but having an HOA and rules, I don't follow rules very well. So when the opportunity arose for us to move to Tennessee, and all the doors were opened and there was a job available, transfer for my husband, and the housing market in Coeur d'Alene was amazing at the time, still is from my understanding as a seller. Everything worked out and we were able to move. So now we have an acre and a couple of neighbors, but it's not horrible, and no HOA. So that's the best part. What I wanted to chat with you today about is just the current events. Feeling led to start sharing, well, current events, not so much. I don't want to cause division, and I don't want to cause, I don't want to cause division, but I do want to share my knowledge. And I've been a prepper now for going on 9 years, I think, 8 years. What I call the Obama years is when we started. That's sun, goodness. And then, of course, the Trump years, I was just kind of complacent. I got a little bit complacent, and now I'm feeling this desire, so thankful that I'm already way ahead of most people in terms of how much I've got prepped. But I feel like we need to start ramping it up a bit. I feel like we need to really do a little bit more than we've been doing. Mostly what's causing my concern, and as I don't know if you follow Enneagram or know anything about Enneagram. I'm an Enneagram 6, and I think most preppers probably are. But when you see all of the ships offshore and all of the goods that are still on those ships that we don't have access to, and it's starting to show up on our shelves, it's time to really get serious again about getting a stockpile. Am I talking like catastrophic EMP stuff? No, I don't, that's not on my radar at all. But I do feel like I think it's time for us to start getting some more canned goods on the shelves, whether that's canned goods that you buy at the grocery store or doing your own canning if you can find canning jars. It's getting water preparation. We have a huge swimming pool now where we moved to. We bought a pool because we're in the South, and it was amazing. And I kind of look at that like, hey, that could be water prep. So I need to figure out how to utilize that saltwater filtered pool and see if there's a way that we can utilize that for drinking. I know that we can use it for other things, but probably not the garden unless we filter it. So then got to get a filter. I don't have a Brookie filter. I don't have a way to really filter water. We are on city water here, but we're on septic, I mean. So, but I do notice that there's iron in the water. So anyway, all that to say, those are things that I've been thinking about, and I wanted to share with you all real quick. I'm going to start sharing again about what I think we should, like, what does that look like? How many layers? Like, you have your pantry layer, and you have your backup pantry, and then you have your long-term shelf life food. So what does that look like for us? it kind of changes. We've got a lot of adults in the house because when we moved down here, kids followed us, and the housing market has not been amazing for them to find a house, and rent is super expensive. So our house is still big enough for everybody to live at home. So there's actually 5 adults currently living here, and at one time we had 7 and the baby. So, and if anything does truly happen, they're going to all come here. So that's where my thought process is when I'm prepping. I'm like, well, now we've got to add diapers to that prep shelf, right? We have to add baby food maybe to that shelf. So just to get you thinking about what's to come and getting ready for the winter. And then I'm going to start sharing a little bit more about what our layers look like, and obviously about essential oils. The health care system is crumbling. And if you don't have to go to the doctor, don't. Like, short of a catastrophic emergency. Like, I had my appendix out a couple years ago, and that definitely was something that I needed health care for. And obviously that's not something I could skip going to the doctor for. But anything like ear discomfort or sinus stuff, anything like that, we use oils. And our grandbaby uses oils. So it's great to have those as options, and keeps you out of having to go to the doctor, and it also saves you some money. So I will be sharing about all of that in the coming weeks and months, because it's time. It's time to really get serious. And if you are behind the 8 ball on this, do not worry. It's going to be okay. So until then, go ahead and click the like and the subscribe button, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.